Hi friends, welcome back to Journey with Rebecca, and if you are new here, welcome. My name is Rebecca, and I have been focusing my journey recently on preserving food for winter. So if you saw last week's video, you saw I did a full weekend of food prep and preservation, and yesterday, or the day before, I did the same thing again. I spent the entire day prepping food that I got from the farm that I work at and preserving it for winter. And my problem now is I need some place to put it. So that is my focus for today. So I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with all of this food that I prepped. Just getting my slippers on so I can show you ultimately what I'm going to do with it, which is not what I originally had planned and not, I think, what will ultimately be, but I have so much going on right now with filming other videos. I'm filming a 31 Days of Halloween series, and I am right in the thick of that, and just can't keep this stuff out anymore. So venturing down into the basement, I literally have not done any cleanup or prep or any like behind the scenes, let me get this space ready before I show you. I'm just showing you. So first I'm going to show you what I originally wanted to do with food and what I think I ultimately will do. I just don't have the time to right now, so forgive me while I enter the room that we never go in. This is part of the basement that we keep closed off, and I will turn you around and show you. Which, oh, I forgot we had all that food there. I bet my husband did too. Don't come at me. I know it's not healthy for you. My husband bought all of those cans of beefaroni, and apparently I have a bunch of soup too. But this is where I would like to eventually put our food preps for all of the food that I have preserved. Yes, it's a mess right now. Like I said, I haven't been in here. I never come in here. This is our furnace room. This is where our furnace is, and we don't come in here unless we need anything. And what I eventually would like to do is prep the walls behind here and get them all dry locked, and then put the food on the shelves here. So I think my husband probably had the same idea, considering all this food is here that I completely forgot about, and honestly I really am thinking that he did too. So I need to remind him, but eventually all of the shelving, I would like to have our food preps be here. I do not have the time or the money or the resources right now to paint the walls behind here and get the shelving all cleaned and ready to go. So let me show you what I'm going to do instead. So if you're Italian, or if you know anyone who is Italian, you know that sometimes Italian people put kitchens in their basements, and when we moved in, there was a kitchen in our basement. We don't use it. It's just something that's here. And what they did when the previous owners, when they redid the kitchen that is upstairs, they brought all the cabinetry and countertops down into the basement and made a space. So there used to be a stove down here. They actually took that when they moved, and there is a freezer down here, which we do keep some food in, but the majority of our freezer food is upstairs in our garage in our other freezer. So I'm just going to turn you around and show you the space. This is where I'm going to keep all of my preserved food for right now, because it just makes sense. I have another kitchen. Why not utilize it? Although it's not the prettiest thing in the world. And this is kind of like something that my husband has, a space that he has taken over. So he's got a lot of his, like, I don't even know, equipment down here for things that he does. But this is the actual kitchen space. There is a sink, and then I have cabinets, which I have to be honest, I don't even know if there's anything in them. I have to take a look, and then there's the freezer down there. So I guess let's just look together and see if there's anything in here. Okay, so it looks like my husband has some protein shakes down here and some Atkins shakes and bars. So Looks like he's got that space used already. So let's see what's in here. Okay, good. Looks like these are empty. I just have to watch out for that blue cable that's in the way. So this space is empty. This is perfect. I think this is plenty of room for me to actually put the food in that I've preserved. So now I just need to get it cleaned up and ready for food. One of the most important things you want to do when you are preserving and storing food is to make sure that you label it properly. You may think, oh, I will remember what that is, but I really wouldn't recommend relying just on your memory. Take the time to label everything quick with a Sharpie so you won't have to worry about it later. This is my first year in a very long time canning and preserving food, so I really don't have anything left from last year aside from some peaches, which are stored in a different place right now. But if you are going to make a habit of preserving and storing your own food, you will also want to put a date on it. My husband was nice enough to label some of these for me with the date because I had not done that yet. And another thing you want to do before you store your food is to remove the ring. This is not needed once the jars have sealed. And also, I think it goes without saying, but you want to make sure that all of your jars have sealed properly before you store them. I did have a few jars, both from this week and last, that did not seal. So those are in the fridge and I will use them within the next 2 weeks. You want to make sure you're storing your food someplace clean and dry and out of direct sunlight. I used some of my homemade all-purpose cleaner to wipe down these cupboards before I put any of the jars in. And if you're interested in the recipe for the cleaning solution, I will add a link for it in this video. Luckily, these shelves had a lining on them, so they cleaned up really nicely and easily. And then it was just a matter of getting all of the food into the basement. I highly recommend keeping the boxes that the jars come in because they do make transporting the jars much easier. I was talking to my husband the other day about whether or not it was worth it to spend the time preserving all of this food, and the answer was a resounding yes. Aside from the time it takes, there really is no downside. And if you have family or friends that are willing and able to help you, I would suggest enlisting their help and paying them with a few jars of preserved food for their troubles. I've been doing all of this by myself, and to be honest, I have been a bit overwhelmed with it all. With all of that, I still try to remain thankful and think about how lucky I am to have all of this abundance afforded to me. But it does become overwhelming just because I worry about getting it all done in time, so I'm not wasting any of this food. But aside from that, there are so many benefits. And firstly, knowing how to preserve food on any level is an invaluable skill to have. Whether it's canning, dehydrating, freezing, freeze drying, they all have their benefits. And it's useful to know how to prolong the life of your food, which is another benefit. Preserving your food, whether you've grown it or gotten it from your local farmer, prolongs the shelf life of locally grown produce. Another benefit that I hadn't really thought about until I heard another YouTuber mention it is that by canning food, you are reducing the amount of packaging waste than if you were to just go out and purchase things from the store and use them. The canning jars and rings are reusable, so the only quote-unquote waste that you're creating is with the lids, which may even be recyclable. Purchasing the jars can be a costly investment up front, but it's just that it's an investment in something that can be reused over and over again. My case is unique because I am lucky enough to have gotten almost all of this food for free from my job at the farm, but you can save money by buying in bulk from your local farmer. This helps support local and keeps your money circulating in your own economy. There's a ton more benefits, of course, but these are just some of the ones that I was discussing with my husband. But I would love to hear from you guys what you think about why you choose to preserve your own food and the reasons that you believe you benefit from most. Now I have some place to put all of my preserved food to make sure that it's not going to get damaged, or I'm really saving on a lot of dust that would get accumulated by having them closed away in these cupboards. This is not a permanent solution for me, but it's a solution in the meantime, and I get to have my kitchen back. So now I can just take care of the towels, and I have a clean and free space now where I can continue my journey of making 31 videos for the 31 days of Halloween. I just need to get my canner put away because I don't think I'm going to be getting to any more canning for at least, I don't know, a while. We're going out of town in a little bit and it's just busy all the time. But I really hope you appreciated this video and learning some of the benefits of canning and preserving your own food. And I will see you guys next time.